Alright, as usual, another day, another broken something on the Mondeo. I was out today, put something in my glove box, went to get it again, and this happened. You can see that the handle here is completely jammed, won't open, won't close, and of course the latch inside won't action either. I can sort of pull on this until things feel like they're sort of breaking, but there's nothing that holds this other than the latch inside, which is right about here. It's on the left side of it, and the trick to getting into it is one of these, which is it's just a coat hanger. You want a metal hook, of course, and it needs to be a straight end. Some of them have a sort of cranked flat bit at the end. That's no good. It'll hang up and get in your way. And all you need to do is insert it like this, and as you slide it along and you sort of rotate it and push it down at the same time, as you rotate it along, you might hear that tap. That's the metal surround on the latch, which I'll show you in a minute. And all you do is push down, and as you can see, that works nicely. So you see up here that's now hooked up inside this. That was what you were hearing. I'll just get it out of the way. The reason you need the round sort of coat hanger shape is if you try to do it straight with like a screwdriver, when it's closed, you can see like you wouldn't be able to get in there. Like this will deflect the screwdriver up too much, and you won't be able to. You need to be able to hook around in the cavity there and be able to push down, because when it's closed, this is up in there, and all you're doing with the coat hanger is pushing it down. So that being the case, this isn't fixed, of course, because this handle is still jammed, right? And that's this unit here, and I suppose it can either be fixed or replaced, but in the meantime I just wanted to show you how to do that. So if you're for the sake of reference, you might like to observe where these things are in relation to the handle. So the I'd say it's about 10 millimeters to the left of the edge of this frame. So you want to go 10 millimeters to the left, up, and put your coat handle in, just to show you it wasn't a fluke. We will do it again. Ta-da! The screws on this are torx T20s. Because of the angle, you can't really fit a screwdriver in, even on the top ones, and then there's this one around here which is even less accessible. So unless you've got a really short screwdriver, you could either put a bit on a ratchet handle, or you can just drop the whole glove box down, taking it out. That's good enough. Keep the screws somewhere safe. And this now should just come away. So if you're interested in how this works, this little piece of black plastic fell out of this when I took it out, and you can actually see down in there where it's come from, and the spring was a little bit jammed as well. So if you imagine that piece of plastic in place, when you see this turns, and it would slide this thing, and this is the latch here. So when that spring there is just a return spring to push the latch back, it's not part of the actual handle action. But if that plastic was in place, it goes under there. It's quite hard to see, and when you turn it, it slides. It pulls it down. Not very complicated. So this is broken off. and if you just try pulling on it, it won't do anything. What does happen is it eventually sort of breaks up there because it's going further than it's allowed to, and that's the position it was in when it was jammed, and you won't get that back. It doesn't have any effect on the movement of the latch, really. You can still push it as we did with the coat hanger, but you know, once it gets to that position, you're only going to be able to fix it by taking it all out and taking this off. And you see that little spring there just helps return it as well. What you need to do is replace the plastic that fits on there, and yeah, I mean, you could potentially get a bit of metal and attach it somehow. That would make it a bit stronger, but it might really be easier just to buy a whole new latch assembly, I think. There was one thing that occurred to me, and that was to use a screw. It's like a 3.5mm self-tapping screw, and I've just drilled a hole right up against, right through the middle there of where the sort of L-beam plastic goes. So I'll try to get the screw in there and see if that will work as a makeshift fix. So I have successfully forced this screw through. Makes it about halfway before the head hits that bracket on the other side, but that's fine. Not really sure how strong it is because the threads are not very well engaged, but it is buttressed by the remaining part of the L-beam bracket there. So let's see if this will work. And before I put it in again, I will just show you here. When I slide that, you can see that little tab moving along. The screw, the beam on the handle, it needs to be on the right hand side of that, looking at it from here. It's like above it. If you don't, so you need to hold this down as you put it in place. So when you put it in, like, it can't, if I put it in there, it's in the wrong place. You've got to move it down and then slide it in like that, and it'll be under a little bit of tension. You come around here, get this other side in. Okay, and now you see it's sort of solid, but if I turn the latch, working. So let's put that back in and try it. And let's see. So in that first attempt, I noticed that what's happened is the screw is not quite in the right place. You can see here this is not going home all the way. And here you can see it's recessed. It should be higher. I tried bending the screw more up, so it just gives it a little bit more room. So it's not quite perfect. The best way to fix that would be to have like a flat piece of steel which you attach to the existing plastic somehow. But I'm going to put this back in and we'll see if it works with the screw just bent a little bit. Okay, attempt number 2. Okay, it's good enough for now. That screw, if it moves, it may, if it does anything, it'll probably just not latch, so it's not going to fail jammed shut. It will fail open, because you can see this latch is still not, it's still not coming out as far as it should do, but it's obviously enough. Like, that's secure. If I try to open this without pulling on the latch, it's not, it's fine, it seems to be secure. So I'm going to call that a success. Good stuff.